Ahead of the statewide exercise, Telangana Census Director Bharati Hollikeri answers TOI readers' questions. She assures complete data protection and clarifies that census responses will not impact welfare schemes.
Census in Telangana is conducted in two phases. The phase one is that is HLO, or we call it as house listing and housing census. So which we are going to conduct in Telangana as per the notification issued by Government of Telangana from May 11th to June 9th. So immediately 15 days preceding, we are going to give the facility of self-enumeration to people of Telangana from April 26th to May 10th. And similarly, like any other state, we would be doing our phase 2 in the month of February in 2027. Enumeration, if we are talking about, because for the first time it is being provided, it is a very progressive step, and already the experience has shown in other part of the country where already it has been being exercised, because some of the states have gone for early HLO operations, so they have already giving this facility to the public. We would be providing this facility to people of Telangana in the midnight of 26, that is 12 a.m., and it would be available to them till the May 10th of this year. So people should avail this facility, and because this is a very friendly app, user friendly app, and then it is very easy to enumerate themselves here in this. But however, there are like certain precautions, or the care has to be exercised by the people who are going to enumerate themselves. So first thing is, only one mobile number they can use to self-enumerate once. So they cannot use one mobile number for two self-enumerations. Then the second thing is, they have to choose a language. So because it is available in 16 languages, and whatever language they select, so that is the permanent language for self-enumeration for that particular person. And the third thing is, whatever mobile number they give, so they have to continue, because every detail will be shared with that mobile number. And the third thing is, while locating their building where they are residing, they have to exercise certain caution, because once the self-enumeration is completed, that particular self-enumeration is mapped with the particular house listing block. So when the enumerator goes, if that self-enumeration ID is given, if it has to be matched with that ID, that block has to match with that ID, and then only he will be able to get the data. Then only the data is fetched on his app. So without that, it is not possible. So that's the reason identifying their building properly and then pinning it properly is also of utmost importance, because then only it can be mapped properly to a HLB. So this is another precaution what they have to take. So carefully they have to locate their building and then pin it. And another important aspect of this is, whatever the name of the head of the household they give, so that is permanent. So once they submit the data, even enumerator cannot change that. Some people might be worrying that self-enumeration, if people are where internet connectivity is not there, and in case of illiterate people, how do we go ahead about it? So it is not compulsory, it's not mandatory step, because as I mentioned previously, whether you do it or not, you don't do it, irrespective of self-enumeration, then you will definitely going to visit every household. First of all, we have there are two concepts. So one is temporarily locked houses and the permanently locked houses. So in case of temporarily locked, or where temporarily the members are not available, so their enumerator takes a lot of care, and then he revisits multiple times, or also depending upon their return to the particular city, or like the block. We are giving the total period for the HLO operation is 30 days. So within that 30 days, he will visit again to the household, and then he will enumerate. If it is permanently locked houses, if there are no one is residing, and it is not being used for any of the usages, like whether it is for a non-residential purpose, or whether it is as an office or whatever, so then we have a provision to write consider it as a permanently locked houses. Next aspect is, people, some of them might have certain doubts, like particularly about the data privacy, so or the protection of the data which they are going to share it with the enumerator. So now let us be very clear that, like census is conducted under a particular statute, so that is Census Act of 1948. So whatever steps, whatever activities we do for conduct of census, so it has a legal backing. So it is done under a particular statute, and as per the act we do everything. And particularly the confidentiality of data gets utmost importance under the act itself. The sufficient protection for the data collected is already given by the act itself. Section 15 talks about confidentiality of data collected during the census. So we never share this data with anyone. So even it is exempted under RTI, it is exempted from any court of law. It cannot be asked or it cannot be furnished as evidence in any court of law. And similarly, we do not share this individual data with any of the departments or any of the state governments. So utmost priority is given to the confidentiality of data. So some of them may also think that it is linked with the welfare schemes. What if I provide right information, and what if I become ineligible because of the information I furnish to the enumerators? But generally this kind of apprehension would be there among public, because the facilities or the enjoyed by them or the assets possessed by them will decide whether they fall in below poverty line or the above poverty line, and it decides their eligibility for any kind of welfare schemes. But however, the data collected for the purpose of census, as I mentioned previously, that is not going to be shared with anyone. So it is absolutely not linked with any of the welfare schemes. And then during the phase 2, where like people who are houseless, we count them on a particular single night. So that is on the last night of last day of on the last, you can say that last night of enumeration. Across the country on single night we enumerate all houseless population to ensure that there is no duplication, and we don't want to leave them also.